Peace. Today's episode of the Uplifted Being podcast has been brought to you by the Educated E-Commerce Online Learning Platform, presented to you by serial entrepreneur, author, and podcast host of the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint podcast, Jay Jones. Learn how to build a six-figure e-commerce business in 26 weeks with the Educated E-Commerce course today. Hit the link in the show notes or log on to educatedecommerce.net to sign up and get started now, family. Peace.
Greetings, and welcome to the Uplifted Being podcast, family. It's time to sync up and be uplifted.
You know that feeling. That feeling, you can't describe it really. It's just like that you feel it. That you feel it. That you feel it. That you feel it.
This is how we do it over here at the Uplifted Being show.
They say once you find your vibe, you find your tribe. Find your vibe, you find your tribe. Find your vibe, you find your tribe. Find your vibe, you find your tribe.
I have to be it. Rather than I have to have it or I have to do it. It's like I have to be it. I have to become it. I have to be the change that I want to see.
You realize that that's a reflection of you, and what they do, you can also do.
The tangible versus the intangible, and as we know, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not real.
Find your vibe, you find your tribe.
But you feel it.
Now we're gonna keep it light.
Peace, family. Yeah, Sister Angela thought she was going to start the show, but I had to, creep up in it. It's your brother Brian Nee Akoboy Doku, also known as Melanin Rich, and man, the Uplifted Being show is back up in this family. We got an action-packed show as per usual. We got a special guest. We are returned by a great one, a legend, but I'm not even about to introduce her though. But you do know it's a her now. So we dropping some information, man, little tidbits, man. I'm happy. I'm enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day out here in Toronto, Canada. I'm pretty sure it's a beautiful day all across the world. And we're so happy to have you tuned in, vibing with us. And we're here to do what we always do about this time. And that is remind you of the powerful creator that you are. So without no further ado, I'm going to pass this mic off to one of the co-hosts representing the Trinity across the border. Imaginary, that is. Introduce yourself, player.
Oh man, you already know things get out of order. Oh man, family, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the Uplifted Being Show, family. I'll be one of the hosts, one of the Trinity, baby. The powerful Trinity be in the building, the family. What up, though? But I'm your brother, Dwayne, from the Divine Mother. Ooh, she is fine. Them hills and them mountains and them curves and that precipitation. All that sunshine. Yes, the swamps too. Yes, the flora and the fauna. So I just wanted to say thank you and welcome to another episode of the Uplifted Being Show. I hope that you grab some pens and pencils and paper and, it is Gregorian calendar 2019. So just open up the note area or the note app on your phone, because you're going to need it today, baby. Because not only are we going to supply some knowledge, some experience, we're going to supply some laughter and some tools that you can take with you. So, without further ado, make sure you go to upliftedbeing.com and listen to previous podcasts from the archives. You can dig in, and the guest that we have today has been here before. Almost like an anniversary.
Right, 1 year ago.
1 year ago. So, you already know, if you tuned in before, you already know that it's going to be jam-packed, it's going to be fun, it's going to be laughter, it's going to be knowledgeable, it's going to be mind and consciousness expanding. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it off across the Pondy River. Pondy
Bank.
Oh man, to my sister from the Mister.
Hey, peace family. Welcome to the Uplifted Being Show. It's Sister Angela, also known as Now Melanin. and it's so good to be back. I can't believe it's been almost a year, or around a year, since we recorded with our special guest. So, like Brother Dwayne said, just kick back, relax, chill, vibe with us. You may want to take notes, you may not, but hey, you could be missing a whole heap of gems. If you ain't ready, just press record, you know. So, very special episode for you today. Practical as well as spiritual, you know how we do already. And special guest that we are so thrilled to have back is Sister Chantelle Quow, CQ business coach, who's coming to share some jewels with you, and even something she's got very special in the pipeline, but I won't give too much away. So, as we do on the Uplifted Being Show, please give Sister Chantelle a light, loving, big, warm, uplifted being. Welcome.
Welcome back, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be with you guys again. 1 year, almost to the day.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and it's a soulless return.
Yeah.
Almost there. Couple of days, a few days away.
Yeah, by the time this comes out,
That's
you're gonna
true.
be 1 year older.
We both will. Yeah.
And Sister Angela will be 1 year older too.
Yeah.
So, you know, happy born day to both of y'all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Gemini Queens in the
Yes,
building.
we are. Let them know.
Okay. represent.
So, Sister Chantelle, for the new listeners, and even some of, a year, a lot can happen in a year, would you please just remind the listeners who you are, what you do, who you serve?
Absolutely. My name is Chantelle Quow, and I'm the president of CQ Business Coach. And what we do is we help small and medium-sized businesses with their business planning and strategy consulting needs. So generally, we help our clients prepare the actual business plan document to help them get clarity on the trajectory of their business growth.
Clear, cut, and concise.
Perfect.
That's why we love you. Oh.
I need to sign up. Where do I sign up? Take my credit card right now.
I'll be telling you.
Exactly. Wow. So, what is, I wanted to say, what is new in the business planning world? Is there anything at the forefront that you think, right off it's like, yes, people that you work with are like the essentials that they should know from the get, or that you help them to find out from the get-go?
Well, business planning is on the rise. I can tell you that much. It's my business is expanding primarily because a lot more people are delving into entrepreneurship. With the current climate and state of the economy, people are learning that they need to now probably depend on themselves a bit more for their livelihood. And they not only have jobs, but they're opening a lot more side businesses. And that's providing a lot of growth within my business as well. So that's very exciting. And business planning is very essential. I don't work with any specific industry per se, because all industries need to have a plan. And there is a strategy to this, and anyone can really follow it. All industries need it.
Word.
That's facts. Right now, my mind is just spinning, because I'm just thinking about, another venture I'm involved with, and when we get off the air, I'm definitely gonna have to talk to you and get you down with this next team.
Absolutely.
Sign me up.
Yeah, take all our credit cards.
Yes.
All right. But I love what you said about the fact, like you attribute some of the rise in the activity or the custom that you're getting, because more people are actually have made the move to start their own businesses. That's where we're all at, and to the extent that you have to, that obviously you work with them with a business plan, is there any element that you have to deal with that includes, like mindset or consciousness?
Absolutely. Before I take on a client, I like to make sure that they are really into their business because they're passionate about it. If you're doing a business because you're looking for just primarily financial gains, the realities of entrepreneurship are going to hit you really hard. And, if you're not into it because you really love it, chances are you're not really going to succeed, because there are going to be days where you're going to be questioning your own sanity as to why you probably embarked on this journey. But when you push through that phase and you get to the other side of it and you start seeing success, then that's when everything's tested, and that's when you realize it was definitely worth it. But to get you to that other side, you're going to have to really love it and really be passionate about what you're doing. I know people say, oh my gosh, passion alone is not going to get you there. Yes, it's not going to get you there, but it'll get you over those hurdles that you're inevitably going to face.
Right. It'll carry you through those tough times.
Absolutely. And they will come. But if you have a plan, at least you'll have a roadmap that you can follow, and you'll have benchmarks that you know you're supposed to hit. So if you're not hitting them, then there's going to be something in your business model that you can tweak, and you can better isolate it because you have a plan. If you're just, going at it all willy-nilly and you're not sure exactly what you're doing, then it's harder to isolate where exactly the problems are coming from.
Word.
So like in your business plan, you like when you're working with clients, so is it something that you practice where when you're structuring the plan, where you allow a lot of room for, agility, like, just in case, and testing, where it's like, because, from my little business experience that I have, it's like, I realize like you got to test, you got to measure the results of your test, and then you might have to, so it's like, in the plan, does it include all of that, where it's like, okay, this isn't really working out,
Well, generally, by the time clients come to me, they're not exactly in the beginning startup phase. A lot of them have been in business for a couple of years, so they know what they've tried already. Okay. And why it's not working. And that's why they know at this point they need help, because they can't really figure out what it is. And at that point, we can already isolate what hasn't worked for them. When I look at your business in the business planning context, I don't just look at your business, but I look how your business operates within the current industry and the climate. I also research the current trends in your business and what the industry has coming down the pipeline next 5, 10, 15 years. Because you not only need to know what to do now, you need to know what to do going forward to make sure that your business can succeed in whatever's to come down the pipeline. Okay. So most definitely there's going to be some analysis. There's going to be a little bit of trial and error. And we are going to leave it. It's called planning because, plans have to pivot sometimes. They can't be rigid and stuck, but at least if you have some form of a guideline and you're supposed to be making this amount and you're not making that amount because of X, Y, and Z, it could be something simple as isolating the correct target market. Perhaps you're not necessarily in the right location. Perhaps there's something in your systems and the operations of your business, but we can at least go through step by step and see where it is.
Right. So I see that a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself, a lot of us come into being a entrepreneur in the beginning to it really just boils down to planning out your time, because we still are faced with capitalism, right?
Yes.
But it really comes down to just planning out your time, like that time where you're not working and you have time, or you have per se the moment to, work on your business, whether it be online or planning or just figuring out how you can provide the best service. Yes. A lot of times, because we're so tired from work, or, got children or loved ones or family and things of that nature, we don't take that 15 minutes or that 20 minutes. So does your business help people to prioritize and plan out their life as well as their business?
No. So I help them plan out
on your own. Fuck that.
Yeah, I help you plan out your business, and that's why I look for people who are passionate, right? Because I've been in the situation where I had the full-time job, I have the child, I was starting my business on the side before I transferred into making it my full-time gig. And I find that when I came home from work and after I did what I had to do for my son and I started working on my business, I got so fired up that I would literally have to be like, Chantelle, oh my gosh, it's 2:00 in the morning. You have to sleep because you have to go to your job.
Right.
Right. So if you're passionate about it, it will light you up. It'll fuel you. there are times when my family wants to sit down and watch a movie, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is idle time. I could be doing something for my business. And I pull out my laptop.
Oh man,
I'm excited.
That is the conundrum, bro. Now everybody mad at you. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sorry, but I'm thinking I could be doing something for my business. Okay, the movie's on, but I could do 30 minutes of research to get me that much further. I'm 30 minutes more ahead than I was a little while ago. So you will necessarily want to do it. You'll want to do it. No one should have to force you or push you. You'd want to find that time. You'll be at work and on lunch, instead of gossiping with your coworkers, you'd probably go sit down and research for that hour. I used to do that. It didn't make for the most social conditions, but those who understood me understood me.
Yeah, and at this point, it's like, well, fuck this society, fuck this social anything.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm good to nobody until I'm good to myself.
Exactly. And now I'm providing way more value to everybody else as opposed to if I was sitting there doing whatever at lunchtime.
Right. Now it's like, what was that? Mike not Mike. I think it was like, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. You all want.
Yes. It was Mike Jones.
See? Chantelle.
That was one of my songs. How did you know?
But I think that's a brilliant position to be in when you get to the place where you are so passionate and you're driven like that. Mm-hmm. But I know, and I've been on that side where it's like, especially when it's very new for you, mm-hmm. and I would say, like, I'm not a natural entrepreneur. Like, that's not how I came up. It's like, you have a career, good status, this, that, and the other. So to make that jump for some of us is really big. Mm-hmm. And so when you get to a position like that, sometimes we have massive resistance. You're thinking, but how can you be working on this quote unquote, side gig, So you need to be focused on your family or more in your career, trying to be ahead of that. And you find that sometimes you have this kind of internal conflict, a different internal conflict to the one that you just described in terms of family, business. This one is like, but the business is the one that I really want to do, but mm-hmm. It's like, but it's taking me away from everything I know, so should I be doing that? This kind of dilemma. And I just wondered, although you don't help people but plan themselves, have mm-hmm. you come across that situation with the clients that you work with?
I have, and all I can do with them is share my story. So yes, things might be a little uncomfortable or harder in the short run, but in the long run, I have the time and the flexibility. So my son he loves basketball. He's into track. I can now plan my day and my time around being there for him as well. So I find that I'm a more involved mom than I was when I came home tired and picked him up from daycare at 6:00, shoved food in his face and had him in bed by 8:30.
Exactly.
Right? So for the short run, it was a bit uncomfortable. And yeah, my husband stepped in, thank God for him, to handle a little bit more. But now I have the flexibility to deal with clients when my son's at school during that time. So when he gets home, I'm more present. But then he also understands that at a certain time after we're done his homework, or I take him to swimming and come back, that is now mommy's time where she has to prepare for the next day or work on some things. And he understands. And I think it's important for him to see that there are other options besides just going to school, graduating, and getting a job and working for someone else. He's seeing that you can actually create something of your own and make it successful. But you have to put in the work. So he's seeing every day that I'm still in school, I'm still studying, I'm still working. That's just going to be encoded in him that he knows for life. Life is learning, lifelong learning. That's what he's going to know.
Let that marinate, though. Let that marinate, though. Life is for learning.
Yeah.
What is life if you're not learning?
Ego tripping.
If you're not learning, you're stagnating.
Yeah,
exactly. And I don't think that I know it all. I'm always willing to learn something new. I stay a student of life.
Stay humble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. We've spoken about that. Actually, we speak about that a lot on the show. But basically, it's like, where ideally we want to be is to assume that we don't know everything. Like, assume actually that we don't know, because then the more we assume we don't know, the more we make space to know more, you know?
Mm-hmm. That is so true.
So, like, in the realm of business, like, my personal position is I've always felt like a business person, but I think I was a little bit more of just like, more of like a hustler than, It's like, they got their similarities, but they got their differences too.
Well,
And
of course you're a business person.
I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit, but it's like like I honestly said, like I never really took the time to plan things out methodically, and now I could kind of see like how I haven't been benefiting from operating that way, and so is there so somebody coming from like a position like myself who's like okay they see the need to increase their planning and all that type of stuff, but it's like is there any advice you could offer to get them into the practice, more regular practice of
Absolutely. So what I find about business is your business development is completely tied to your personal development. And
Right.
you don't have to know how to do everything, but you do have to know how to source it. So if you're not good at planning and that's one of your weaknesses, you hire somebody to do that. Maybe you're just a great implementer once you see the direction you're supposed to go. Hire somebody to help you with the direction and then you implement. Maybe you're great at creating ideas, but you're not good at going out there and implementing or getting sales, but you can plan it out. Plan it out and hire people to go out there and get the sales done for you and be willing to pay them adequately for their efforts. So you can still have a business. It's all knowing how you operate and how best you work and then hiring and outsourcing to fill in those gaps.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Word. So it's like you gotta you gotta know your strengths and weaknesses.
Yes. So you can absolutely run a business you don't have to be a business person. You could just be in the background creating and have somebody else do the forefront stuff. Yet it's still your business. And that's okay.
Right, man. Like Sister Angela said, man, a lot of jewels is getting dropped, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I hope you got your treasure chests out right now. Chantelle is dropping them, man.
Bombs.
I love what I do.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing because like you said earlier, if people are chasing the finances, which I used to be guilty of, but when you're chasing the finances, you're not set up mentally for the trials and tribulations of being a business owner, for providing a service, right? Because when we talk about business and entrepreneurship, essentially all that we're doing is providing a service.
Yes.
And that service comes from what you're passionate about or what you can, like when you service people, when you give someone a service, you're providing them with something that they didn't have before. Right. And you're providing them an experience. And what's so powerful about it is that it's your experience. So as you said, like your business as it grows, like it's in correlation or correspondence with your personal growth.
Yeah.
So if your business is stagnant, you might want to check some things in your life that's stagnant.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if your business is growing and your life is stagnant, I don't really think that that's possible.
No.
It's like you're constantly learning to grow your business. You know what I'm saying? Like you're starting from the ground up. So you're constantly learning things to grow your business. And as you learn more, your consciousness and mind and everything expands. So yeah, I think that's very powerful.
Absolutely. Because if your business outgrows you, then you're going to fail because you wouldn't know how to handle that growth. So it still all circles right back to you.
Like Queen Angela says all the time, it starts and ends with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was thinking about what she said about, it's true, that basically you don't get into, or you don't start your own business, well, at least not over here in the West, if you're only about the money. Like, that's not, maybe not, unless, hey, I don't know, maybe you have something that's completely unique or a no-brainer or something like that, but unless you have that full, what can I say, that rounded ability. I call it like that because it's taken me a while to learn, but I'm at the stage of where you learn that there's a difference between, what can I say, your technical ability and then your business ability, like your experience as an entrepreneurship. So they're two different things. So like as a lawyer and attorney, it's like, yeah, you can be a good lawyer, but then there's the business of law as well, running, you know what I mean, a law firm. You can be a coach, but doing the coaching is very different to then running a coaching practice. Yeah, sometimes just having that realization that, okay, so you really do need, there are skills, you know, I think sometimes it can just be missed that there can be an expectation that we place on ourselves, like, oh, you're supposed to know how to do that stuff.
No.
And it's like, well, no, it's actually a skill in itself. You do have to learn the whole route of, I guess, business. And I'm sure Sister Chantelle can speak more about that, from the marketing, the sales, to the finances, to, I don't know what else. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yes.
there's a whole load in that.
And no one person knows it all, really. You know, you have to work on those things. Even myself, I had to work on that. Sorry, go on.
No, so I was about to say, or pay someone, but I think actually even there's the paying something, but I guess you might say that there's even a basic level to which we should be aware of business principles. Would that be fair?
Yes. Yes.
It's like we gotta know how the pieces of the puzzle fit together. We don't have to be a specialist at every aspect of business, but just knowing how the pieces fit together, then, like Sister Chantelle said, you know, we could go and outsource, you know, different roles to different people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You think Steve Jobs knows how to build an iPhone? Well, knew how to build an iPhone?
He just knew what he wanted it to do and hired people to make that happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That makes so much sense in terms of having to know the basics. Otherwise, you could just hand over anything, and you could be fleeced because you don't know. You don't have the basic understanding of what it is that's supposed to be coming back or what's supposed to be produced. So, yeah, I guess you need a kind of foundational level understanding of the general operation of business.
And yes, you can take a business course or, read some business books to kind of give you a bit of that foundation. So at least when you're having a conversation, you'll have a point of reference. But that's all, right? Personal development stuff too. You'd have to take that initiative.
Cool.
Right. And something that King taught me earlier today, though, I think that will resonate perfectly with this, is that experience is the best teacher.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Like, he was like, you just got to do it and you'll learn. And that's just really what it all boils down to. You just got to do it and you'll learn on the way.
I completely agree. And that's really how I built my business until I think I'm standing there and somebody's just like, you know what? You look like a great person for me to hire to look into my business. I had to go and create a reputation. And how did I do that? I had to go out there and get clients. I just had to do it. I had to figure out how to get clients, retain clients, the whole client experience, how to provide the service, how to do the back end and put the systems in place, like all these things I had to do. I didn't just go to school and read the books, but I'd literally go to school, read the book, and then go apply it with the client right away.
Word.
Yeah, that's so important, because on the one hand, I was thinking, the alternative perspective is that, that old saying, learn from other people's mistakes, and some will go further and say, because you don't have time to make them all yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it's like anything. It's like until you're, like Chantelle said, until you're implementing or trying stuff out, you just have theoretical knowledge. You don't actually know what works for you. The things that we get into the habit of, people will tell you, do this, do this, do this. On one hand, it's proven to work for them. But where we come from, everybody's a unique individual,
Mm-hmm.
So the way that you apply things and the things that work for you and that resonate with you and your energy and your vibration may be completely different, but you won't find that until you actually get out there and start making mistakes before you find the thing that, that's for me. Okay, let me do this, So, and I say that especially as, someone that can be quite heady. You know, you can be like, oh, got to work this out, got to work this out. And before you know it, you're in analysis paralysis. You do that, you will never get started.
You're right about that. But you know what I found helps with that? And you hear a lot of people say this and a lot of CEOs, and you might read this a lot of places, but journaling and spending time on reflection really helps with that process. And, you know, that's the uplifted part of this. I do spend time with that, and I had to work on my own personal journey and work on myself because I want my business to be successful, but I can't get caught up in the day-to-day rungs of it. I have to actually carve out time to sit and meditate and reflect and journal and create vision and then plan and execute.
Brilliant.
Let that marinate though. Just let that marinate, man. Come on, man. Sister Chantelle, man. You come to play with us today.
Not at all. You said bring value. I'm bringing value.
And there you have it. It's like, you know, business is not all rational minded. It's not all stats and figures and data. They're all important,
Yes.
but they are not as important as your mindset, your consciousness. You cannot have one without the other and expect to be successful. To confirm what this Chantelle brother, I think actually everyone has been saying, it's like, you know, they go hand in hand. So you can't shortchange yourself. Well, you can try, but I'm sure you'll find out very quickly that something's not working. Yeah.
You will see that.
I could just touch on that, you know, from the metaphysical aspect of things. It's like, you know, we know things begin as thoughts. Everything we know that's material started off as a thought first, you know. So every business was an idea. You know, that idea had to manifest into more and more and more and more and more. So, yeah, so the visionary aspect of it is very important. And then, you know, which includes the planning and then the execution, which is the action, you know. So it's a marriage. It's a marriage.
For sure. It's like, if you don't have a vision, what are you planning?
To fail.
Right. The vision must come first. You know, otherwise, where do you go from? Or just throw some irons in the fire and see what, you know, you need something to be heading towards. So then you think out, okay, so how am I going to get there? Otherwise, like, where are you going?
Man, you know, I'm trying to refrain from telling all those crazy stories like I used to do, because I was a bit of a drifter too. Like, you know, sometimes I could honestly say like I lack vision. Like I would take action without having a certain direction where I was going. Or I had a direction, but I never had a course. Like I never had a destination in mind. You know what I mean? Sometimes I would just be out there running the streets all wild and just reacting and not being so proactive or visionary or reflective, or, you know what I mean? So I know where that could take you. And if you just, you know, let life take you where it takes you, it'll take you to some crazy places, man. You know, you just can't be surprised where you go. But if you take the time to exercise your vision and your mental, you know, ability to, you know, foresee what you want, to claim it, and then, you know, and then to head in that direction and be guided into that direction, it's like two completely different worlds.
Absolutely. One is a conscious creator. The other is an unconscious creator.
Yep.
But I think one of the biggest things that I've come across as well is, like, I'm about to drop a serious secret that most people either don't tell or you have to dig deep in research to find it. And it's very simple. I hope that y'all ready, family.
Pens.
Ready.
When you begin your business, how to get it off the ground, do 10, like serve 10 people or businesses, or just serve 10 free items. That's how you gain the experience, right? That's how you gain the trust. That's how you build your reputation. 10 free giveaways. If you just started from the ground.
Volunteer, like just go out there and volunteer.
Right.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah,
Makes
you
sense.
can be well, just Chantelle may speak on that, but you, from my understanding, it's good also if you're going to do that, uh, you could be strategic with it. Like if you're going to get people, especially in terms of building your reputation, like try and work with just you giving it away for free. People that have got influence, people that have some weight, or they have a network where they're the kind of places perhaps where you would find your ideal clients, and but it's true, that's so important. And on the one hand, people might think that, oh, but how can they do this and be giving away their time, their effort, and whatever for free? But don't forget how much in this day and age is available for free. Like how much free content and other things are you consuming right now? There's so much available for free. So if you're not giving any value, and just straight off the bat you only want to charge, I'm sure everybody on this call can speak about this, but it can make it more difficult, and you can never underestimate, like Brother Dwayne is saying about, you can never underestimate the power of actually just serving people, because you probably be served more in return in terms of what you learn, the experience, the finding out about the problems that people actually have, as opposed to the ones you think they have. It's priceless, So it's like, from that perspective, we need to be humble, because whatever we give, it will come back to us,
I
And it
can
doesn't have
speak
to be
on that.
free. Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
I
let you carry on.
I can speak on that for sure. What you're saying is definitely accurate. In the beginning, I did have to, do speaking events for free just so people could see my knowledge. I volunteered at not-for-profit organizations for young women's empowerment just so that they could see my value. And funny enough, I was referred business by the people who ran those organizations, of people who paid for my services. So it does come back to you when you least expect it.
Absolutely.
Shit.
Ashe.
And then when you serve those people, you can still ask them for it's free, but you can ask them, and should ask them, for testimonials. That's cool. If you delivered a result for them, get them to write testimonials for you, whether they be video or in text or whatever, and plaster that wherever you are. How else are you going to build your reputation? But that's a fair exchange.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
is very good.
Absolutely.
So, Sister Chantelle.
Yes.
So, like Sister Angela announced at the beginning of the show, she said you got something special you're working on. You care to inform the family and let us know what's going on?
Yes, I do. So I'm working on a type of a course, but it's more of an educational web series, and it's going to showcase me and how I work with clients and provide value to them. So they'll be able to see the process that I use and how I work with my clients and utilize those tips for themselves. I'm working with another wonderful entrepreneur consulting firm called Creative Human, HEWMAN, and they are amazing when it comes to utilizing technology for learning experiences. And we are going to bring something fire to the community, because I always sit down and I reflect on ways that I could be of better value and of more service to the community. I want to help people with their entrepreneurship and let them know there is a method to this. There is a system. And a lot of us can't afford to take MBAs to find out what the system is. But if I can reach more people and provide more value, I think that is the reason why I was blessed to be in the position that I am now. And it's something that's working for me. So I'm bringing it to everybody. I will let you guys know when it's launched, and I'm super excited.
And you'll come back on, right?
Absolutely.
I just wanted to throw in there. I did have a question, but I just wanted to throw in there because I liked how you said you want to be of more value and more service. And sometimes we like to talk about prosperity and the mindset of of wealth and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, in order to attract, for lack of better words, to attract or manifest more abundance, you have to be more abundant, right? So it's like you have to constantly, add value to yourself, so you could be of more value to others. So, you could service others in a greater capacity. It's like the more, you could build upon yourself in that aspect, then the more open basically it will allow you to, receive more.
Right.
Everything circulates. So I just want to, throw that out there,
Yes, abundance is the key. Gratitude, the more you're grateful for, the more you'll get to be grateful for. And I believe that.
Absolutely.
Ashe.
Wow.
Adding value to yourselves, add value to the world.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm.
And that's
Indeed.
it.
Another thing, family, I just wanted to say the reason, another thing why we say give away something for free. And it's not, like Sister Angela said that, we would, some people may have the mentality of, well, why would I give away my time and energy, for free? Not only are you not only are you gaining experience, not only are you gaining a good reputation, not only are you gaining so much, right? Networking, right? So much. Not only are you gaining all of those things, but what you're also doing is you're finding out if what you're selling works or not.
Testing.
Absolutely.
Because if they're not going to take it for free, well, then you got to go back to the drawing board. You got to go back to the drawing board and then hire Sister Chantelle to be like, hey, I need planning.
Right?
I know that my gift works. I know that it works. I need planning.
Yeah, maybe you just
Sister
need to
Chantelle
put in front of the right
Chantelle.
people. I'll help you figure out who the right people are to position your business in front of, and then get the results you need.
Yeah, that is so crucial, Brother Dwayne. What you just said, it's true because well, I'll just say my own example. If you can be quite naive about getting into, the things that you want to do, and how you can be fired up about what it is that you're creating. It's like you birth something, it's your baby, but it's like, we can have, I've seen now, we can have like this really romantic notion of what it is and how great we are and how great the thing is that we've provided. You know what I mean? Until you go until you go and offer the thing and be like, didn't go down quite how I thought it would, so that's crucial. That's why the big corporations and stuff, they lay down money to do market research, focus groups and all this kind of stuff. It's crucial. And however which way we can do it, like when we're just starting out, it's like Brother Dwayne and Sister Chantelle, they're saying, it's just like, yeah, be of service, get the feedback, because that will serve you in the long run, Exactly. You do your testing and spend as little as possible in the beginning, so you don't just go and invest a whole heap of money that you don't yet have on the mistaken belief that that'll come back to me. No.
And even just quick surveys.
Yes.
Surveymonkey.com.
SurveyMonkey.com. Even Instagram has a little polling thing that you could put on your stories now, just to get quick feedback. Would you want this, that, or that? Bam, bam, bam. Free.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, thank you for reminding me about the Instagram thing. It's true. It's relatively new, but yeah, you need feedback. You need to hear from real people, not just the voice in your head. Not to sound dismissive, but like I said, we can get a bit excited with these things and then realize that, we haven't actually checked with other people that this thing is as cool as we think it is.
You're absolutely right. That's one of the questions I would ask my client. Did anybody tell you that they wanted that? Did you, do any testing to see if people would actually purchase that? It is a good question.
I just thought it was a good idea.
Very, very good.
And it might as well be a good idea. You just got to learn the ins and outs. You know what I mean? You got to learn how to put it in a package to where it looks so desirable that people can't live without it.
Yeah,
McDonald's.
that's true.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it too. It's an awesome space to be in. Like the amount of things and knowledge there is to learn. But it's interesting from a personal perspective. Thinking, wow, there's more stuff out there, and the relationship we can have to whatever it is that we're providing, and it's funny just that shift from you being a consumer and the way that you look at things to you then being the creator or the producer, and how you just, your mindset changes, your language changes, you start talking to people in a way like they're in your head thinking, they know what it is that you're trying to convey, and you're thinking, yeah, but if somebody spoke to me like that, there's no way I'd even understand what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's really interesting. So yes, testing. I love that. So yeah, polls, speaking to people. I don't know. There must be many ways. Just feedback. You need to get feedback any way, anyhow.
Absolutely. Offer them a gift card for if they take this poll. People will do those kind of things. They do it all the time.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I've done a fair few.
$120 Starbucks or whatever gift card, and then you'll get 100 people to respond. That's a great sample size to figure out if you have a viable product or service.
Oh, that's cool. Family, I really hope you got some pen and paper out. If not, you have to catch it on the replay because, man, the
word, I gotta go
over and over and over again.
I'm gonna have to put this on replay.
This is amazing.
Appreciate you, and I mean, I'm happy that I have this conversation at this particular point in time, like right now.
Word.
Because I know all of us are kind of engaging in a couple of different entrepreneurial ventures at the moment, and it's like, I know this is so on time, and like I said, when we get off the call, I'm gonna rap with you.
Absolutely.
If
the
not
universe
today, this week.
Yeah, the universe does provide what you need when you need it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Divine timing.
Synchronicity.
Indeed. So Sister Chantelle will let us know when that web series drops, of course. But in the meantime, Sister Chantelle, how can our listeners reach you if they're like, I need you in my life right now?
Absolutely. So I have a monthly newsletter that goes out that provides lots of business content, free content, videos, tips, and tricks that you can use for your business right now. You could go to my Instagram page at CQ Business Coach and click the link to subscribe to the newsletter. You can also go to my website at www.cqbusinesscoach.com to find out more about me and what I do. And yeah, sign up for the newsletter to stay tuned. All of my social handles, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel is all at CQ Business Coach. So keep it consistent.
Oh, yeah. Consistency is the key.
Absolutely. So I look forward to engaging with some of your listeners. Tell them to reach out if you have a question. Hit me up.
CQ Business Coach.
Yes.
Sister Chantelle, how important would you say branding is to a business? Because, I see you got your pink and blue thing going on. Customized branded colors and all that,
Absolutely. Branding is very key. They spend a lot of money to study what colors and shapes and figures do and how it attracts people and consumers. So, when you hire somebody or you delve into that research, you come to find out that branding is extremely important for identifying yourself and keeping you apart from your competitors and for brand recognition. So now I want people, when they see that, they know CQ Business Coach is in the building and they're gonna get value.
Right.
Well, I see that pink and that blue. I'm thinking CQ.
Yes.
Hey, bars.
That's gonna stick. That's gonna stick, sis.
Thank you.
When I see that pink and that blue, I'm thinking CQ.
I might have to, license that from you or work
yours.
something out.
That's yours.
Woo!
Baby.
Thank you.
We volunteered.
When this podcast comes out, I'm gonna post that day.
Hey. I like it though.
Awesome. So family. That time. Wow. I feel like we just packed like 2 hours worth in that 1 hour.
Word.
All I know is I'm cheesing from ear to ear.
Yeah, you get a fire up under my behind.
Excellent.
Be somebody.
You know?
That's what I like to hear.
So, family. I don't even know where to begin. You've heard so much here this episode, for which we're really grateful to Sister Chantelle for sharing with us these jewels, as well as my brothers from another mother. And I guess what I want to say is, we'll pass it over actually to you. Are there any final closing remarks you want to leave the family with before we sign out?
I just want to let them know that planning is extremely important for all entrepreneurial endeavors and just for your life in general. So if you have any business planning needs, contact CQ Business Coach. Keep listening to the Uplifted Being podcast for that uplifted reminders for your life. And I look forward to being here again.
Thank you.
Look forward to having you. I'm sure the audience does too, because it's like a breath of fresh air.
Oh man, it really is.
For real. I guess I would say, Brother Dwayne's already said it, but like you said, you can't divorce your business or entrepreneurship from your mindset and your consciousness. You are the common that it starts and ends with you, for real, so anything that's even going on in your business, you can work it out. It comes down to you in some shape or form. So put in that work, but that work is on both sides. You put the work in the business, but don't forget to put in that internal work too.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the one mind, or the mastermind, the two or more minds coming together, because, oftentimes business, not everybody's a solopreneur. Not all businesses are, a one-person job. It's usually a collective of people coming together to implement a system. You know what I mean? So I just want to stress, the importance of, people being on the same page. And, and the way your business could be structured, not everybody has to be privy to all the information, but, different people need to know. As long as, the people know what they got to do and know where to report that back, you know what I'm saying? And everything is structured and organized like that. The importance of, being on the same page is, man, I can't stress that more than, I can't stress that enough. So, yeah, man, communication is key in business.
Sure.
Family, I am at a loss for words, because this episode is just so mind blowing. Like it gave me a newfound appreciation of business. Because at times, like when you're in it, it ain't so beautiful. But there is always beauty in the chaos. Right? There's beauty in everything. And it's up to us to see it. And once we see it, we gotta appreciate that mother lover, you feel me? Man, so this gave me that newfound appreciation of the beauty in the chaos. So I thank you, my sister Chantelle. Thank you, my brother Mel Rich. And my sister, not Melanin, Sister Angela. I thank you, family, because, man, I needed this. I really needed this.
Synchronicity, baby.
You know, the Trinity. So, family, make sure y'all go to CQBusinessCoach.com and follow her on Instagram and Facebook, CQ Business Coach, and Twitter.
And YouTube.
I forgot about Twitter. And YouTube. Yeah, all that jazz. All of the social medias, baby. Make sure you go to CQBusinessCoach.com and follow her on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, CQ Business Coach. And also, family, make sure you go to upliftedbeing.com and you can download us on Apple Play or Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, and also Spotify, and also we on YouTube, baby. Woo-hoo! We on YouTube now, family. So make sure you go to Uplifted Being Show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube, family. Oh yeah.
Hey man, do remember to hit up aplussmoothies.com. That's APLUSSMOODDEES. Get some of that pumpkin protein powder all up in your life.
It tastes good too.
Vegan protein, you know?
It tastes good too.
Oh, no doubt.
And we cannot forget cheeseware.com.
CHIEFSWEAR.com. Chiefswear.com. Our official sponsor for African fashion and jewelry. Your one-stop shop for all of the needs, you know?
Yes.
So,
a big thank you to you, family, for taking time out to hang with us and get your learn on some upliftment in your life. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have. And there was a lot, like seriously, there was a lot of gems dropped in this episode. So, if you could take away even just one thing, the one thing that you think, yeah, I'm gonna go implement that, or yeah, I'm gonna have a think about I have a new take on that, you know. See what that is and run with it, you know. We're always learning. We always need to be learning. Okay, wow. Beautiful day. So, without further ado, finally, we'd like to thank Sister Chantelle again for joining us. It's been a thrill, as ever, an honor, a pleasure, and wish you happy solo return in advance. And it's always a joy to be here with the brothers, Brother Melanie Rich and Brother Dwayne and family. I wish you well for the rest of your week, all your endeavors. And unless there's anything else, we bid you light.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy soulless return.
Thank you so much, and happy born day to you too, Sister Angela.
Thank you, Chantelle. And to the family, we bid you light, love, and
Peace.
Breathe light.
Be light.
We light.
Digging for ground, you know what it is, D-Block. Umar Ben Hassan, Styles P. Lil Roll, this track is crazy. Freedom is priceless, lose it, your heart will cry. How did Martin feel? Seeing Malcolm die. Where the answers at? Where the Panthers at? Kidnapped our freedom. Where we pay the ransom at? Freedom take bravery. Yeah, each one teach one. If you don't know, the jail is the new slavery. Look what they feeding me. Look where they caging me. Whole lot of rage in me. Nobody aiding me. Pressure building up. Black man in the silver cups. It's the judge that be killing us. Freedom's a good poem. All hood home. They got a lot of love that make it a good home. All great place, all great space. When you can raise your kids in a safe place. Every day's a holiday, celebrate. If we can get freedom, we can elevate.
Free. This poem is about free. It took me 2 days and 2 half pints of Hennessy to write this poem. To be free. I needed to be free while writing this poem. I went and got the Yankee Jackie to help me be free to write this poem. Free! Free is not just a word. There's a gesture, a commitment, an action. There's the sound of the saxophone slashing through the pretense of this obscurity. I have felt this rhythm before. My favorite things, and this is for love, and this is for peace, and this is to be free and alone with these thoughts, but nowhere to land, holding air over crowded dreams in a distant fog, silver cycles turning bleeding moans into velvet promises, closing my eyes to this holy undressing of sound, down home blues, just in uptown blues. Come together, one day we will all be free. You and I, come together, we'll be free. Exercising our futility while easing in and out of heavy conversations. I heard you that morning inside the harmony. So natural was your resolution at that moment of decision to be free. You free my color, and I'll free yours. You take off the locks, and I'll open the doors. You free your guy to share with me, and I'll share with you eternity. Come together, we'll be free. I'm with the last poets, just let the class know it. Yeah. If you can see the light on the path, then show it. Cause you could be a player or a hater. Just know the freedom's the brother of Mother Nature. Everybody's hating when brothers begin paper. Might love you now, but they might hate you later. I'm just playing my own hand, being a grown man, being free to taking our own stand. Kinda touch the soul. You and I, come together, we'll be free. You and I, come together, one day we will all be free.
Thank you for tuning in. Check out upliftedbeing.com and remember to rate, review, like, share, and comment, depending on where you're listening from. Light, love, and peace, family.